What's up YouTube, it's time for another RickoRex Overwhelm special. The man's been on a tear recently with innovating new Overwhelm decks, and at the point of recording this video is currently on rank 7 in the European chart with this deck that he recently brewed. And the deck quickly gained popularity because of its stellar performance, currently having almost a 2% play rate on the European chart at a 52-ish% win rate. And that stems from how well the deck fits the current meta. Now, there aren't a lot of matchup stats and so on, so all of this is a bit wishy-washy, but Ricko himself claims the deck has good matchups into most of the current meta and most importantly into Ari Cannon, and I can definitely see why. So we're looking at a Sivir Akshan list, but with a Noxus splash instead of the more common Demacia mid-range version. And while the Demacia version might be more effective at controlling the board and maybe some crazy combo finishes, this one is just more aggressive. The main strengths of this deck are, first of all, the Spellshield Overwhelms. Rune Runner already has both. Sivir can get a Might pretty easily, therefore get Overwhelm, potentially share it. And stacking cheap combat tricks like Elixir of Wrath and Shapestone onto those spell shielded units is very hard to deal with for a lot of decks. Decks like Ari Cannon Shurima, for example, have no efficient way of removing the spell shields that need to invest a 4-mana spell into it. At the same time, we can spread out our threats and our overwhelms quite effectively. Now, while we don't main deck a ridiculous amount of Overwhelm units, we also have some other great potential Overwhelm targets, like Reckless Trifarian, sometimes even a leveled Akshan, especially if we combine that with either attack buffs, or if we make use of the Might twice. If we have the attack token, swing in, use Might, and then play Ruined Reckoner, and Midnight Raid the unit with the Might buff, that can represent a ridiculous amount of damage on one turn. At the same time, Merciless Hunter's Fearsome Tag can be quite useful, can often allow this to slip through, also benefits a lot from the buffs from Elixir of Wrath and Shapestone. Now, Akshan is quite interesting in this deck. Of course, this deck does not even remotely go all in Akshan, and we rarely get all the way to the Warlord's Horde counting down to 0, but we can mulligan quite aggressively for our 1-drops and Akshan, and that means we'll often have a Warlord's Palace ticking down early on, and we'll get it triggered around our power spike turns, around turns 6, 7, and 8. And then the flexibility of the card is just amazing to smooth out your draws. If you already have a lot of value or finishing power in hand, you can go for the Sandstone Charger or the board buff. If we still need a Might or a Whirling Death for the current attack, we can look for a draw. If we need something like a Farron for more sustained pressure, the optionality of Warlord's Palace is just amazing. Overall, the deck is fairly straightforward to play, just mid-range bash their heads in. And I'll be honest, on my experience, it sometimes felt a bit inconsistent. You could definitely just draw too many combat tricks and not really get the pressure going. But nonetheless, the raw power level of this deck does feel pretty high. My key takeaways were look for scary combos, especially if your opponent taps out of mana or under certain mana thresholds. That's when you can just go nuts and stack all of your buffs onto just one unit if you know they cannot deal with it anymore, especially one with Spellshield. And the other takeaway would be, if that's not the case, if your opponent does have a lot of removal and mana open, spread out your threats, spread out your damage onto multiple targets, so they have to react first, they have to show you their removal, and then you can put a Might and all of your buffs onto a unit that cannot be removed anymore. So overall, a very refreshing archetype to play, a rather straightforward deck in a meta that has gotten incredibly complex, and especially in lower ranks, this should be a great choice for climbing the ladder.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Xerath, Zilean. Definitely gonna be looking for 1-drop at Akshan. Oof. Just gotta say the words sometimes. Rockhopper is annoying here. And again, I have double Akshan, I don't mind try. Oh, that's actually good for me, right? I don't really want to have the champ spell, but I will definitely take the extra countdown. It's also perfect mana curve wise. Looking good.
I don't need rules to know good from bad.
Akshan first before the opponent plays another Rockhopper or Unraveled Earth. That's annoying. What are the odds of finding Time Bomb? 4 copies, 12 out of 37-ish. Or the third. I think I kind of want the strike though. I'm not gonna get the second, like I'm not gonna get Warlord's Horde counted down before the game ends anyway. It's risky, like block here, Time Bomb is really good for my opponent. I think it's still worth it. I can still Ruined Reckoner Midnight Raid. Pop the landmark for next turn, it's not bad.
I serve a nobler cause.
Pokestick hurts, I suppose. Could put it here, but the potential payoff is quite a bit lower. This is like a high risk, high reward play. Ah, that sucks. But basically the idea is I want to use the Palace offensively, right? So I want it to count down to 0 on my attack turn. If I use it on the Raider, I would count down in a defensive turn. But I don't really need the card draw right now. Like I have the value that I need in my hand already. With Farron and Run Runner.
They've never tried this chemical before. Trample 'em.
Another bomb would suck here. Now it's just double bomb, that sucks. Something useful? Not too bad. There's no real upside in having an extra 2-1 attack. Okay, now it gets interesting. Sandstone Charger open attack is not bad. Full develop is really good as well. I think I should at least try to find something like a lethal here, because Arsenal comes down next turn, there is a high chance it rolls lifesteal. So we go Sandstone and trade that into the Bear.
Gonna make a meal of 'em.
Right off the Arcane is kind of good for my opponent. Okay, now we hope they don't hold Arsenal. Or if they do, it doesn't kill us and it doesn't roll lifesteal. And it's still winnable. There's not much merit in swinging with the others. I want to use Shaped Stone on an Overwhelm later on. Also, don't mind banging.
Whoa, 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 hey, hey, hey!
Banging. Banking. Whirling Death mana here. Okay, no Arson is amazing for us. So Rage, no second time bomb. I'd probably Shapestone the Rune Runner. And again, the Rune Runner is only worth 2 damage next turn. It's okay. Might have to develop next turn. I fear that Farron gets mini-morphed. Actually, with Whirling Death, Rune Runner is worth a lot more damage. Oh, this has to be developed, right? Another stun thing. So Farron could push 3, you could push 2. Whirling Death pushes a lot more, of course. Push 6, we're in double Decimate range, don't have mana though.
Chase what you want without mercy.
If Arsenal gets played, we can give it vulnerable, drag it to the side.
Watch out for the rock dudes, you maniac!
They better watch out for me!
Okay, in that case, I think we just pull the highest HP Overwhelm blocker aside. Since now my opponent has 2 fearsome blockers, there's no point in giving them vulnerable.
Yeah! Wrap 'em up tight!
Out of my way!
Wanna see what it does?
That's many more for sure. Yeah, this looks good. So we're still playing into our opponent not getting lifesteal off of the Arsenal. The other thing that could be bad is our opponent just having an absolute banger of a power turn. While also having Rite of Negation for Decimate. But I mean, they're copying mediocre stuff, right? Zilean gives the Mini-Morph and Rockhopper. Time Bomb might be scary. Okay, almost looks like my opponent's trying to set up Letha. But they all only have, like, they need to keep Rite of Negation mana, they only have 7 mana to work with. Could be Rite of Negation for sure. Oh no. No lifesteal. Man, I was contemplating last turn to not fully develop, like to not play the Merciless Hunter. Only go for 1 Whirling Death and play Decimate last round, so that even if they have Arsenal, we can still just answer with a Decimate. Might have been the better play. GG nonetheless, that was a close one. Darkness. Question is how many Mini-Morphs and Vengeances do they run? Overall, it should be a good matchup. I guess kick everything. 1 drop, 2 drop is too important here. Twisted Catalyzer. Sacrificing Akshan here is a bit sad. But I can't allow that thing to hit twice.
Mine's the wonder. Hey,
Useful top deck, please. Oh, we'll take it.
just need a second.
Shaped Stone for a 3-1. Might be worth it, I'm not sure though. Yeah, just taking out the chump blocker is good if I'm playing Runeterra in next round, right? It's my only real play, unfortunately. I'd like, especially now that I have Might, I would like to play them both in an attack turn. But I can't really not do anything this whole turn.
Rabadon, Rabahoo.
Okay. So Senna is gonna be really scary. And Withering Whale is also gonna be kinda annoying. Okay. Almost seems like our opponent doesn't have champions. I'm not sure about it though.
Sand and trouble far as the eye can see. Saw that a mile away. After them!
They don't really run a lot of whales anymore. I don't think I attack with a rear guard. This might come in handy later on.
Demacia sends
Sentinel, okay.
long road to climb, long road ahead. Out here, you're moving or you're
Can take out the Senna with Whirling Death. Do I want to though?
concentrated forgiveness.
Oh, is she not attacking?
The eye looks right fierce. Darkness and light.
I proc Warlord's Palace. I feel like I probably should.
You lost?
And go for a draw. Suits the curve pretty well. Let's play Sivir first to see if my opponent plays something like Rekindler to give a better
Smells like
hunter target.
adventure and money, you mean?
Interesting pass. Could just take it, probably bop a Might here. But the payoff for Merciless Hunter is pretty high.
We love it when they run.
Might on Sivir also wouldn't have been bad. Wait, Darkness.
Okay. It's fine though.
They've got Yeah, maybe I should have just taken the attack. To not give my opponent the darkness. Okay, in that case, Sivir still would have just died to box plus group shot. Yeah, I should have put the group shot on the stack. Should win this on the open attack though. The Spellshields are menaces to deal with for our opponent. Not that they already use most of the pings.
They've got a ghost chance.
Looking good so far. So Sivir to the left, Sheila is up. Don't mind developing. If my opponent had Senna, I would have played her. Worst that can happen is something like Ishtali, which doesn't lifesteal because Sivir shares everything. And again, my opponent can't really stop this, right? I don't see how they can stop both of them, since we still have so many buffs available to us. Would have to be Vengeance plus Stress Defense plus a Spellshield ping or something like that.
Easy does it.
Okay. Perfect. Well, one over even. Okay, I'm a bit confused here, but it's fine. Oh, it was getting Overwhelm anyway, I forgot.
I'm a woman of principle. Mine is clear and get paid.
Exactly, lethal. I just called that perfectly calculated.
Another victory to fill the coffers.
Knights fall aggro. That's an interesting matchup. The Diana buff should be big here. Whirling Death is going to be a good find. Oh, we're going to get outvalued for sure. Unless we get some back-to-back-to-back great draws.
Ours is the one true light. They won't get past me. Devotion to battle. Need a second.
Could go Shaped Stone here. Nah, I like just sending it in.
Gently, gently.
I'll do better this time. No mercy for heretics.
Interesting. Like, technically we're up a card. We don't have plays. What is your plan? Okay, it's Whirling Death.
Night descends.
I think my opponent is taking aggro a bit too seriously. Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to play Nightfall.
The promise of a new moon upon you, Bloom Tender.
Probably should play it now. We don't have next place next turn neither, so we want to just maximize our damage output here. Can technically push lethal if our opponent doesn't have any defensive options and they greet this block. Let's see. Let's see how greedy they get. Okay. Not quite there. So probably Shaped Stone to keep this attacker alive. Oh wait, we didn't have Shaped Stone activated yet anyway. We would have been one off lethal. There's about no way I die this turn, right? Probably just attack from my opponent, double Whirling Death with Merciless, and then try to win on the open attack. I don't think there's anything my opponent can play that really scares me. Doombeast is a good defensive option. Well, 5 flights, I suppose. The Stalking Shadows. It's not impossible for them to have it. Okay. You're willing to trade Nocturne in? That was interesting. I mean, no reason not to. There's nothing my opponent can do about it. My opponent went from a full send, full aggro mindset on the turn 3 attack to a, oh my god, I need full control on turn 5 very quickly. Should be it. Triple unspeakable horror. Well, GG's. Interesting match. Gangplank Sejuani. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Okay, good curve to start with. Another butcher? Or just a trigger?
What's that you got there?
Okay, maybe my opponent's going for a level GP on turn 5.
Let's get him, crew.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
Finger on the trigger.
Hug it out.
Make it rain next turn. Ah, no Shaped Stone is a bit sad.
Like a fish in water. Wrap 'em up tight. You can't do this.
Interesting thing is we can still win even if they have a level GP. A party looked a bit wasted though. Okay. It's more about the level Sejuani next turn, I suppose. So I think I like Ruin Runner, Full Swing, Reckoner on Ruin Runner.
Seeing tombs, towns, and everything in between.
Rip Akshan.
That old trip again.
Shaped Stone, Sandstone Charger. And then if our opponent doesn't play Sejuani, we can maybe close out the game. Sucks against Monster Harpoon though. But I feel like it's the best play we have.
We live here.
Nice. Okay, so now we just need to either finish them or not die till turn 9, although that's a bit... It's gotta be a bit hard to accomplish. Oh, sick. Yeah, the Reckoner should close out the game here.
A single empire ruled by the true king.
So they did have GP in the opening hand. If they wouldn't have used that one parley, they could have played it on turn 5 and then attacked with a level GP. Might have been some misplays on my opponent's end. Oh, GG though, perfect efficiency coming through again. Pantheon Taric. How good is Whirling Death? Okay, but not amazing, right?
Look at the shiny dove.
Trade me, maybe? Maybe I gotta ask more nicely.
I've got your back.
Scores to settle, cooks to kill. You know how it is.
I got a YOLO attack here. There's a lot that can go wrong, but... Oh, Shapestone's a good top deck though.
This is justice. Together, stranger.
Could be single combat. It's not too bad for me. Just need some units to fill the gaps here now. Charger to stop my opponent's attack. Shut on the gem. It's kind of mediocre. try this first. Maybe our opponent develops randomly. Like, pass is always the best play for them, I think. Okay, I still think I'm giving vulnerable to the Fated guy.
Arda's gonna make a meal of 'em.
Oh, what a waste. That does expose me to Pantheon, but I don't have a lot of options here. Okay, we're chilling. So far, we are chilling. Probably summoning Sandstone Charger here. Could just do it now, go for the open attack. Yeah, I like it. I could pre-commit Elixir to the left. Threatens Letha. Looks kinda good actually.
Muscle never hurts.
That's an okay outcome. Sharp side really hurts. Apart from that, we're fine. So yeah, just rearguard into Farron, into open attack, double decimate. Unless our opponent rolls an insane Pantheon, we're fine.
Don't worry, I am here.
Got a pretty good blocker against this guy. Can't help but feel like our opponent kind of threw a couple of their resources away. He played a bit too loosely.
Okay, ready. Death by my hand. No further.
GG's. Actually won the mid-rangey matchup.
Our borders grow.